Alright, and with all of those dragons and treasures, I'll go ahead and pass the turn to you. Okay, well, in your instep, I'm going to go ahead and tap black and 1 to play Nasty End. This is my first spell this turn, so it's going to be copied by Double Visions. It says that additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature, so I'm going to sacrifice Wernog, Writer's Chaplain, and this zombie token I have. So because Wernog's legendary, Nasty End will have me draw 3 cards, and then I'll also draw 2 off the zombie. And when Wernog leaves the battlefield, everybody can investigate. Everybody who doesn't loses a life, and for everybody who does, I get an extra clue. So who wants to investigate? I think I'm probably just going to take the 1. Yeah, I think that's going to be the move for me too. Well, I could actually use the card draw, so I'm going to investigate. Great, so I'll investigate twice and get 2 clues, and then I'm going to draw 5 cards after my Nasty End's resolve. How many cards in hand does that put you at? Good question. With my card draw for turn, that'll put me at 8 cards in hand, which means I need to draw 2 more in order for Cecily to trigger when I attack. So because of Zerda, my clues only cost 1 to sacrifice, so I'm going to pay 2, sacrifice both of my clues, and draw 2 more cards. That'll put me at 10, which does put me up to the threshold for Cecily activating. The only problem now is everybody's got blockers that would kill Cecily, but I think I might be able to handle that. I'm going to move to combat. I'm going to swing Cecily at you, and on attack, her ability will go on the stack twice. So I'll draw a card and lose a life, putting me at 11 cards in hand, and then I'll get to cast something for free. That's going to happen twice, but I'm just going to do it 1 at a time right now. So the first spell I'd like to cast this turn is Seagate Restoration. So I draw cards equal to the number of cards in my hand plus 1, and then I have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. So I'm going to draw 11 cards, and then Double Visions will copy Seagate Restoration, and I'll draw 22 cards. So then, now I'm holding about half my library. Cecily's second trigger will go on the stack, and I will draw another card and lose another life. And because I definitely have more than 11 cards in hand, I'm going to cast another spell. Though I think maybe I'm going to see how many spells I can cast with this one trigger. So I'm going to play Arcane Endeavor. It says roll 2 d8s and choose 1 result. Draw cards equal to that result. Then you may cast an instant or sorcery spell less than or equal to the other result from your hand without paying its mana. I've got a special d8 just for such occasions. 1 is a 2, and 1 is an 8. Perfect, okay. So I'm going to create 2 treasures, and then I'm going to cast an instant or sorcery with mana value 8 or less, and I'm going to choose Baral's Expertise. So I return up to 3 target artifacts and or creatures to their owner's hand, and then I may cast a card with mana value 3 or less from my hand without paying its mana cost. So I'm going to return all 3 of your blockers to your hand, and then off the Baral's Expertise trigger, I'll cast Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. If I would draw a card while my library has no cards in it, I win the game instead, and then he's got a plus ability to mill and draw, and then a -8 to draw a bunch of cards. And then combat damage will go through, and you'll take 3 commander damage, and then post-combat, I want to pay 3 mana to play Aquatic Alchemist, putting target instant or sorcery card from my graveyard on top of my library. So I'm going to go ahead and put Seagate Restoration back on top, and then I'm going to go ahead and plus Jace to have target player put the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard, and then I draw a card. So I'll have you mill 2, and then I'm going to go ahead and draw a card, which will be Seagate Restoration. And then, unfortunately, that's all I can do this turn, and I'll go ahead and pass. You best believe I'm going to do everything in my power to kill that Planeswalker. You better have a backup plan.